Welcome back, players. Today, we are diving into an incredibly cool explainer that translates the downright chaotic experience of life into a literal strategy guide for the massively multiplayer online game we all play every day, the game of Earth. Now, life might not actually be coded in ones and zeros, but it absolutely plays like a complex video game. And you know how it goes. If you don't know the hidden rules, you are going to struggle. So we have to start with a really massive question. Are you playing the game? Or is the game playing you? Because to truly thrive here, we have to stop just reacting to random events and start treating life like an epic, superhero-level quest of self-mastery. Honestly, most people spend their entire playthrough stuck on the surface level, just dodging whatever the game throws at them. But what if you could hack the system? What if you could finally unlock your character's true potential? Well, here is our mission select screen for today's explainer. We're going to tackle 5 crucial levels: the Earth game tutorial, mastering hidden game mechanics, designing your custom quests, escaping the NPC trap, and finally, the secret grading system.
All right, jumping right in. Level 1, the Earth game tutorial, surviving the spawn point.
Okay, so when you first drop onto the map, the game developers force you into this unavoidable tutorial phase called childhood. And depending on your spawn point, this tutorial usually takes place in a mandatory map location called school for, about 8 hours a day. But here's the catch. It really only teaches you basic survival. Unlike normal video games where you get a neat little stat sheet that breaks down exactly what your character is good at, Earth deliberately hides your deep traits. The developers totally conceal your true potential, so you actually have to put in the work to dig, explore, and figure out your own character's natural strengths. That brings us to level 2, mastering hidden game mechanics and defeating Entropy. As you're out there trying to level up, you're inevitably going to run into some serious hidden villains in the system. And I'm not talking about boss monsters you fight with a sword. I mean the invisible background programs that are just draining your character's energy. You know that feeling when your computer is lagging because you've got like 50 browser tabs open at once? Well, your character does that too. The developers actually turned off the Open Programs alert by default, so most players don't even realize they're lagging. All those unresolved tasks, distractions, and heavy emotional baggage, they're just running quietly in the background, severely eating up your critical focus. And this is a huge deal because if you aren't actively managing those background tabs and keeping an eye on your in-game coins, you're gonna fall victim to a silent killer known as Entropy. Basically, Entropy is that slow, sneaky drift into chaos and disorder. If you drop your guard for even a minute, Entropy will quietly stop your character from focusing on the quests that actually matter. So to fight off this Entropy, you've got to master 5 foundational mechanics. And no, there isn't an AI that can automate these for you. First, connections and love. Building real relationships pays out massive dividends. Second, production. Doing meaningful work to develop your purpose rather than just endlessly grinding for coins. Third is mindset, because your internal game totally dictates how you adapt externally. Fourth, character health. You got to monitor your physical and mental shape. And fifth, the meta mechanic, which is actively studying how the game of Earth itself actually works. Now for level 3, designing your custom quests, where we start leveling up like a pro. Once you master those base mechanics, you're ready for the really fun stuff. Instead of just passively accepting the game's default automated missions, it is time to craft your own heroic storyline. Because, let's face it, the players who score the highest points design their own tasks. We can actually use fellow player Steven Kotler's The Art of Impossible tutorial to build a custom quest by following a very specific skill tree. It starts with curiosity, which drives your exploration. That naturally links to passion, acting as your quest compass. Passion then evolves into purpose, the legacy you want to leave behind. Achieving that grants you autonomy, giving you full control over your direction. And all of this culminates in mastery, refining your skills for the biggest challenges on the map. While you're building out those custom quests, here is an absolute pro tip. You need to establish an anti-vision. It is incredibly powerful to map out the exact worst-case, dystopian future your character absolutely does not want to happen. Creating specific mission checkpoints that steer you away from a bad ending is often just as motivating as chasing that high score. Moving right along to level 4, escaping the NPC trap and breaking the autopilot loop. As you're pursuing these awesome custom quests, you'll notice the developers purposefully flood the map with easy, low-energy distractions to keep you from advancing. This leads straight into one of the most dangerous hazards in the entire game. Look at the stark contrast here. A real player actually chooses their actions and focuses on big, long-term goals for the year or even the decade. But an NPC, a non-playable character, they just react. They get hacked by the system. They get stuck on autopilot, wasting precious memory processing on doom-scrolling politics, consuming low-energy media loops, or hoarding tutorial information they literally never use. You have to force your character to focus on what matters to escape this trap.
And finally, level 5, the secret grading system. This is how you actually get on the leaderboard. If you successfully dodge those NPCs and execute your custom quests, you'll eventually reach the very end of the Earth game. And here is the wildest part of the whole setup. There is a hidden character grading system that evaluates your entire playthrough right before you exit the map. This secret scorecard reveals 5 metrics for the leaderboards. First up, decision perspective. Did you choose love over fear? Second is connection. Did you collaborate and dissolve the illusion of separation? Third, adaptability. Did you grow from plot twists and adversity? Fourth is authenticity. Did you follow your true inner voice instead of just conforming to society's rules? And fifth, contribution. Did you leave the map better for new players? A really cool example from the source creator was how he used his in-game collaboration points with his partner Michelle to bring a brand new level 1 character named Hannah onto the map. Okay, one quick pro tip before we wrap up today's explainer. If you ever find your character severely lagging, remember, you are never truly stuck. You can always trade in-game coins to hire a coach or a psychologist character to literally hack your account and reset your settings. Or, depending on your map location, you can even utilize legally acquired in-game shop glitches like psychedelics to force close all those heavy background tabs and completely reboot your system. The original creator actually gave the Earth game a very solid 4.5-star review, and I think this quote perfectly sums up the entire experience. If you learn the game rules well enough, then you can break them. Mastering these meta mechanics is exactly what allows you to seize total control of your character's destiny. So, equipped with this superhero strategy guide and a totally fresh understanding of your character's true powers, we gotta ask, are you finally ready to stop letting the game play you? It is your game, and they are your rules. What will your ultimate custom quest be?